In West London today, it felt like the beginning of summer and the beginning of the end of lockdown. But even with the easing of restrictions on the horizon, the journey to normality could be a slow one. One step on the road back could be COVID certificates, proof of the carrier's COVID status, showing if they've had the virus, had a vaccination, or the result of a recent test, used to gain entry to events and venues. Government-backed trials will begin within weeks, but similar technology is already being used across the hospitality industry to keep staff safe and in work.
I think once you get over the stigma of putting something up your nose, which is quite unpleasant, but once you get used to doing that, then actually the passport element of it is incredibly easy to use. It's literally a scan process.
Here they use an app called V-Passport. It requires the user to take a COVID test. The results are then fed in, and if it's negative, they get the green light to go to work.
As an industry, we're really used to facilitating rules.
And you do things like ID checks already
Exactly.
for alcohol and that type of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So for us to add in another check is not a problem. And as I say, if that gives people the confidence to return to restaurants, confidence for our workforce that not only are their colleagues safe, but other people in the restaurants are safe, it will inevitably create a more relaxed environment.
Going back to the theatre could also require a COVID certificate. Whether they'll be mandatory is currently under consideration by ministers.
This is not about a vaccine passport. It is about looking at ways of proving that you're COVID secure, whether you've had a test or had the vaccine. Clearly no decisions have been made on that because we have to weigh up different factors, the ethical considerations and so on, but it may be a way of ensuring that you can get more people back doing the things they love.
But there is already a backlash brewing, and it's created some unlikely political alliances with former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn and former Conservative leader Ian Duncan-Smith joining over 70 MPs who are against the plans.
I'm really worried that internal vaccine or COVID passports would become very quickly a tool of discrimination and bullying. So if you start making this a basis for going to the pub or going to a restaurant, you are handing discriminatory powers to every bouncer or unscrupulous boss.
Big public events like the Snooker World Championship could be used to trial COVID certificates over the next few weeks. In Richmond, most people had just one thing on their minds. You'd be happy to go along with it, to get back into the pub?
Yeah, I suppose I would really. We've done a lot of things we're not used to, haven't we? So, yeah I probably would.
Whatever makes life a little bit easier and normal for everybody.
Yeah. I'm not sure you can mandate it, but if someone wanted to see my vaccine passport, I'd be happy to show them.
But as lockdown rules begin to relax, the Prime Minister has again warned the public that they must not, reminding those with vaccines that they don't offer 100% protection and urging those meeting friends and family to stay outdoors and stick to the rule of 6.